Hello everyone, hope you're well. Thanks for watching. It's late tonight actually. I normally record about 40 minutes before now. And part of the reason that I got stuck really was I'd started recording about different things and then thinking, nah, I'm not really feeling this. Or I'd found a 20 question list thing that someone was sharing on Twitter and thought, oh, that'd be fun. But like once I got 2 in, I was like, I don't really have answers for a lot of these, or the same answer covers like 5 of them, and it didn't really work. I also want to talk about the fact that MGPX got its full 100% funding. That's the gaming meetup that myself, Kev and Anna from the Chapman family and Pab from MGP, our Mature Gamer podcast thing that we do weekly, is funded now. So we're running an event in July. It's the end of school the end of school term, the first weekend of the school holidays. We always run a meet up at the Brewery Tap in Peterborough, where loads of games, a quiz, a raffle that I've got the task of setting up every year, where I basically hound companies to try and send us free games and t-shirts and stuff. It's not going well this year. I feel like something's changed over time. When we originally started doing the event, people were very good at just going, yeah, what do you need? Here's a box of stuff. Now they kind of must get it so much they just ignore us. So I've got to hound a few people and hope that I get through to the right names, but there's still plenty of time for that. Anyway, so I did talk about that for a bit, and then I thought, actually, this isn't something that you can do a video about. It's just a preamble on a video to say the event is there. If you're interested and can access the Peterborough area, I'll give the exact date at some point once I remembered it. I'll put it in the notes below. But you know, if you thought, oh, I wouldn't mind going to a video game meetup, then we're doing it. It's, as I say, first weekend of the summer holidays, and it'll be myself, Kev, Anna and Pab, and then a load of people who listen to MGP. So it is in the back room of a pub, but it's not as boozy as it sounds. Half the people who go don't even drink, but don't tell the pub that because they're giving us a good rate on the room. Anyway, so do you know what? We're not actually doing a show this week. This is I'm jumping the gun on the announcement there because it's only Wednesday. We normally put that tweet out on a Friday. But the reason we're not doing a show this week is because Kev and Anna are going to see Captain Marvel. Sorry, not Miss Marvel. And I really want to see it. It's going to be a great film. It's a cinematic highlight, obviously. And I'm a little bit gutted because I don't know when on earth we're going to get to go and see it as a family, because it involves getting Claire's parents to watch Ben while we go. It involves deciding whether to take Ollie or not. And it's going to cost the best part of 40, 50 quid just to get in the doors, let alone if anyone wants a food or a drink. And that's just insane, because if I do that, then I want to go see Infinity War like 4 weeks later. Endgame, sorry. Avengers Endgame. I spent 100 quid on 2 films, which, if you're putting it really, really bluntly, I could just watch films on Netflix for that amount of entertainment. I know it's a different quality of entertainment, but I could watch a whole season of a program on Netflix that would probably be higher quality for a £5. So I was thinking to myself, I really want that to exist. What should I do a video about? I might just do a video about things that really confuse me that they don't exist, because I don't really get it. Like, I can see the argument that if you've spent a lot of time and effort making a film, you would want it to be enjoyed in the great kind of spectacle of the theatre. But I don't understand why you'd get that hung up about it. Like, if I was the film man and the technology is now there, would it not make sense for that film to come out and it be £10 if I want to watch it at the cinema, which is that's being conservative these days. Like, our showcase charges more than that per ticket. So if they assumed that the average household was, I don't know, 3 people, and they charged 25 quid to watch it there and then at your leisure at home, I would bite their hand off for that. If I knew I could watch Captain Marvel on Friday on my own telly in my own house for 25 quid, I'd bite their hand off. And I think there'd be quids in on that, because we'd probably send the kids to bed and watch it without them. But one-time view would be fine. It's the brand new hot film that everyone's talking about. They'd have got the money. They wouldn't have to share any of it with the cinema. They wouldn't have to share any of it with anyone. They could just beam it into my TV and I'd watch it. I don't understand why we don't have that yet. I don't understand why there isn't a Marvel Cinematic Universe thing, or I don't, Universal or someone like that. Whoever it is, Disney, I suppose, are bringing out their own platform. But I really feel like films and stuff should just be on there now to watch without going to the cinema. It miffs me that I have to go and sit in the cinema surrounded by people that I don't want to sit near, catching germs, eating horrible popcorn that I will pay for because I'm an idiot, and watery drinks. I don't mean to be an old man ranting, but it's just like, I can't, like, they're not seeing the full 50 quid I end up spending by going, so what's the benefit of them if I'm going in? It's like they've got these deals, I suppose, perhaps that's it, but I've wondered this for a while, and I feel like it would encourage people to invest in bigger and better TVs and bigger and better kit if they felt like they could get the cinematic experience. Cinemas wouldn't go completely downhill because you still get snobs who'd want to see it in the IMAX experience and all of that. So I feel like that's, it changes what going to the cinema is about, and then you start thinking, well, for an end game, the end of the whole Avengers story, that's worth maybe paying the extra and going to an amazing cinema. I'd be tempted to try and find one for that, but we'll end up seeing it in our rubbish showcase. Interestingly, with the old Avengers thing, I was trying to work out when Iron Man came out, because this is over 10 years, but I've known Claire since 2005, and I'm pretty sure it started after that. And I'm thinking, that's mad. This story is coming to an end, and it's been going almost as long as I've been married, or almost as long as I've known Claire. Like, I feel, again, that's one of these. I mentioned Pab feels like he's quite new, even though he's been on the show for years. I don't feel like I've known and been married to Claire for that long, that this entire story spans that time. I feel like that story is way longer than our relationship has been, and it's really bizarre thinking that that's coming to an end. Although it is obviously spinning off into loads of other stories, so it's not going to be done yet. I imagine they're going to have... I mean, they've still got Spider-Man and Black Panther and different things coming out in the next 12 months after the film, I think. I'm trying to work out exactly when it's all happening. But, yeah, they're really dominating us, and I feel like if they could just charge me to watch the films, I'd probably still be spending 100 quid on films this year for Marvel if I worked it out right. But... yeah, it'd be all right if they were getting it direct and I could sit at home, because that's over like 6 or 7 months. Anyway, the other thing... sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I think... so what did I rant about? I was ranting in my book before I started talking. And connected to this, I was chatting on Twitter about it, that the same goes for football. I understand this kind of goes against what my club would want to do, but I don't understand why all top clubs, or all clubs even, aren't allowed in this day and age to just sell season tickets for their games to be watched on TV, because I'm not interested in watching Liverpool or Man United or anyone like that. When they're going on about it on Sky, I couldn't care. They're talking about it being the biggest game of the season. It's not even the biggest game in the 90 minutes it's on for me. Like, I wouldn't give a toss if that game was on and I had free tickets in the best seats in the house. I just wouldn't make the effort to turn up or look at it. If I was taken to see that game in a box, I'd spend the time eating and drinking and wouldn't even bother looking, because I'm just not interested. And that's not any disrespect to them. That's just because I literally only want to know my own club. So I want to be able to watch every game of theirs, and yet when a game's on or not on BT or Sky, I can't watch it. It just seems insane. When Spurs are playing in the first round of the FA Cup, it's not on telly. When they're playing in the pre-season friendlies abroad, it's not on telly. And I'm like, oh, I want to watch those games. I'm a Spurs fan. Why aren't I allowed to? I know that I think I think that Man United have a Man U TV that plays all of their games that aren't televised, like the pre-seasons. But there's no... I don't know, I just want all access. And again, it's like, why would I want to pay Sky for a little bit of access? It just seems really weird that they don't just offer that service on demand now. I think if they did, it'd be too pricey. I heard the Premier League are looking to do their own streaming service and take it all in-house, and I'm really hoping that happens. I've got a buddy who works for a TV company, and he reckons it won't work as well as it sounds, but the current talk was that they'd charge like 10-15 quid and you'd have that kind of access. But I don't know. If they literally said for 15 quid a month you could watch any Premier League game you want, it'd just crack on. I reckon they'd make so much bleeding money out of it. It'd be ridiculous worldwide. But I don't know why they're not just cracking on with it. The technology's there. The cameras are already at the games. They're always being filmed. It just seems weird. Another one that I'd written down, I'm just reading my notes on it a little bit there again, was, and this is a really random one, but it's only because I mentioned I broke a tooth earlier in the year, or late last year, sorry. And Claire's got over a root canal. And it irks me a lot that teeth aren't considered part of just normal NHS doctory stuff. Like, if I broke a finger, or my ear, or my eye, or my nose, or my chin, or any other part of me that I can think of, I would be sent to like a foot specialist, or a hand specialist, or an eye specialist, and it would just be part of the NHS. Yet, dentists and opticians, I've just realised, have just decided they're going to be their own business, and they're going to be their own thing, and because that benefits the dentist and the optician, that's somehow okay, and we should do that. It just seems really weird. Like, I guess it'd be a lot of strain if they had to give everyone glasses on the NHS and jobs, you know, all that be done, but it would cost a lot of issues for us. But the teeth one, I just don't really get. Like, it's artificially inflated. It's very irritating. I wish I knew why that had happened, and that's one where I'm more asking, I guess, because I feel like who decided that that part of you know, being unhealthy isn't that it's just something that you should have to pay for and be ripped off for, because they're quite, you know, important. It's weird because if like your teeth fall out, it causes so many other issues that you end up paying for anyway. So I don't really get it. Maybe I'm a communist, socialist, or whatever, liberal or whatever, but it just seems odd that if I broke my arm, they'd fix it, but if I broke a tooth and couldn't eat, they wouldn't fix the tooth, but if I starved and got ill, they'd fix that. It's a weird line to cross, and I feel like, I know you can get NHS ones, but they're all full and they don't take people on, and they still charge you loads of money, so it confuses little old me. And the last thing that I wrote down, do you know what, this is going to sound connected to my whole eating differently thing, but it's not, and it's probably, I mean, it's not even because of where I live. I've tried this in London as well, and I don't understand whether it's a quality of delivery type thing or what, but there is literally no high street name, like famous go-to, healthy, you know, nice food kind of takeaway people. I could throw a stone from my roof and it would land on a greasy food place without even trying. You know, I could find like rice and curry and Chinese food and you know, fish and chips and pizza and all these things, burgers, whatever, and all these different countries. You know, it could be, you know, even like Turkey and places like that, and you know, they're all delivered, but they're all not very good for you, not very nice, not very high quality. I can go to a lot of places and order good food, sure, but I find it really bizarre that there's no one doing like door deliveries for just nice stuff that's good for you. That if you were so bad you had that 5 days a week, you know, bad that you had that 5 days a week, that people wouldn't be going to you, mate, it's too much fast food, it's too much, you're having too many takeaways, look how thin you've got, you've had 5 takeaways this week. That's never been said, and it seems really weird that that doesn't exist, because you'd think it would be in their in companies' interests to do that. It's not like they're going to go broke if they just, I don't know, just started selling it. I don't really get it. Like a McDonald's could just start selling ultra healthy food. They sell salads that have like 2,000 calories in them or something stupid, and you're like, why do you need to do that? Is it because no one wants them the other way? But yeah, I can make healthy food at home. People can make healthy food. I just can't get my head around it. Like, we had a place here briefly where you could buy like halloumi and really nice cooked, like for me, like cooked lamb and stuff. So it's not even a vegetarian thing. It was like you could buy nice lean meat and it'd be really well cooked on a grill and stuff like that, and it tasted really nice. But they shut down because they were like a hotel place that ran out of money or whatever. Their food was doing all right, I think, but I just find it really odd that it just doesn't exist, and I don't think I haven't got the cooking skills to go and kick that off. If I had the inclination to just kickstart a fast food empire that was built purely on the food being healthy, that'd be awesome. But not one of the names I can think of. I can't think of any kind of fast foody places that you could literally eat 5 days a week from their menu and not die early. And that just seems mental in this day and age that they can't do it. And I don't understand why. I don't understand a lot of things, obviously, but it just seems easy, and that's just confusing. So yeah, I'm gonna end my rant on that, I think, because I don't have the answers. I'm hoping that someone will put in the comments, this is why it's not possible, and I go, oh, okay. I'm certain it's not because there's no demand for it. I'm certain, because the amount of times I've gone through the pile of takeaway menus and just thought none of these are healthy enough. And our local chippy has a little sign up saying it's the healthy option. And I'm like, you're not the healthy option. You're the healthiest option of the 5 things on the street. They're going like, oh, fish and chip portion is like 1,000 calories better than a korma, or that's made up numbers, by the way, before big korma come after me. But like a slice of pizza is however many 100 calories, and you know they're not. And I'm like, yeah, but you're still all bad. Like I couldn't sit and eat fish and chips, sausage and chips, chicken and chips every single day and survive on it. So it just seems weird that no one's thought to corner the, let's just have, if you had 14 really, really, really healthy, tasty options on your menu, you could literally sustain a family for 2 weeks off that choice and it would not kill them. It just seems like a no-brainer because there will be people out there who would buy it. It just seems mad. I don't get it. It's all part of my ranting because that came from basically going to Tesco's today to get my lunch because they're back off my hate list and ending up eating a falafel fajita or something, and I was like, it's not too bad, but I couldn't order something like this from a takeaway. And I was wondering why fajitas weren't delivered and stuff like that. Anyway, massive tangent. Help me figure it out. I don't understand the world. I want to know why. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up because this has got over long and this was supposed to be a bit of a... I'm going to talk about something random. Mainly the cinema one. I wish I could watch Captain Marvel at home and just not be spoiled. But by the time it's on in the UK, on telly, on Sky, I'll have seen Endgame. And by that point, there's no point seeing it. So I'm kind of like, ugh. So I've got to bite the bullet and go and pay and see it. I might just have to make sure the kids stay at home and I'll see it with Claire somehow. Or go without her and then send her on her own to see it on her own. And that way it'll just cost us both 12 quid each. That is the 25 quid. Jobs are good and we both get 3 hours of peace and quiet. That could be the answer. I knew this video was going to pay off with an idea in the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Friday, I guess, because there's no podcast, so I'll do a video. Cool. Cheers.